Hello and welcome. Today we'll be taking a look at the Weymouth class light cruiser. This is the tier 2 cruiser in the British line, requiring 350 XP and costing 70,000 credits without reductions. So the first thing we'll cover on this ship is the guns. The ship has got 8 152mm main battery guns and they've got a range of 11.6 kilometers. They reload in 8.6 seconds and they do 2,800 citadel damage, so any broadside target within an exposed citadel will be pretty easy to take out. Overall, they're pretty good guns for both damage and range, however they do suffer from low traverse speeds, being the slowest for its tier at 25.7 seconds. That's more than double than the American tier 2 cruiser the Chester, so it's probably a good idea to get a good captain skill for that. For the ship's armour, it's relatively weak, having 610mm all around. Apart from the main battery and some of the superstructure, it does have 76mm of armour, so those will be able to absorb a decent amount of damage. One good thing about the ship though is that the citadel is pretty far under the waterline, so it'll be very unlikely any shots from ships of the same tier will be able to citadel it, unless you're facing, say, a Mikasa which bears 4 303mm guns. If however you are up tier, you'll be more likely to face battleships such as the Bellerophon, Kawaichi, South Carolina, etc. So those will be more able, more than able to citadel you if you present them a good broadside, and even if they get you from the front, some of them may be able to do that. So it is, choose your enemies quite wisely. So stay in cover if you're going against battleships that are up tiered from you. So alongside talking about the armour, the ship has also got an incredibly good amount of health points. So it's got 20,300, which has the most for all researchable tier 2 cruisers, most of which are in the 15,000 HP region. So that's a pretty good amount. But as well as that, it has more than its successor, the Caledon, the tier 3 cruiser, which only has 19,000, so playing the ship you're at quite a good advantage. So, like the tier 1, the Weymouth has also got anti-air. However, it'll probably never be used unless your teammate drags you into a tier 4 game, where there's a carrier. So, it's equipped with both a 40mm AA gun and a 76mm AA gun, which allows for a continuous damage of 14, so it won't do particularly much damage, but a tier 2 ship defending itself against tier 4 planes will pretty much never happen. So, really it's not something that's going to happen very often or something you should really worry about anyway. The ship can get to a good speed of 26 knots and has a redshift time of 5.9 seconds, so it's a pretty manoeuvrable ship. The Weymouth's concealment is 10.3 kilometers, which is relatively average, but you will be spotted pretty quickly when you get into battle because obviously the map sizes and the DD is going to get to you pretty fast anyway, so that's going to be something you'll encounter quite a bit. So that can be reduced to 9.3 with the concealment captain skill, which is probably the most valuable tier 4 skill for this ship. The upgrades allow for just, one. So that's literally just the main armament upgrade 1, so on with that. For the captain skills, however, I'd go for the following. So for the first 10 would be Priority Target, Adrenaline Rush, Vigilance and Concealment Expert. For the last 9 points you can either go for a tier 2 skill, tier 3 skill and a tier 4 skill. However, rather than going for the 4th skill to get RPF, which, it would be helpful, you can get an additional 2 tier 2 points, which could benefit the ship far more regularly during the battle, which, I'd go for. So if I was going to do it my way, I'd probably go for High Alert for reduced damage control cooldown, Expert Marksman to counter the slow turret, as I mentioned earlier, so that would be a big help. And last, and if your rudder engine gets knocked out, then that would be the second point you'd be getting anyway. Then for the last 3 points, I'd go for Basics of Survivability, which would be far more useful than the other 2 options. So for the history, I'll put a time on screen if you want to skip that and go straight to the gameplay. However, just a little background information on the ship. So, the HMS Weymouth is a subclass of the Town class cruisers, and the Weymouth class cruisers had 4 models produced. Those were the Weymouth, the Yarmouth, the Dartmouth and the Falmouth. The first of these to be laid down was in January 1910, and the last to be sold off was in December 1930, where it was broken up into parts. The Weymouth itself went on various missions during its service. It first went looking for the HMS Emden in the Indian Ocean during mid-1914. It then went on an operation in East Africa against the HMS Königsberg, and it was struck by a torpedo in late 1918 from an Austrian U-31. The ship was named after the town Weymouth, which is a small town in the south of England in Dorset, which is quite nice. As I believe it was when the World Cup was on, I visited for quite a while. And it's just quite nice with all the outside bars and everything going on there. It's just quite a nice little town. So if you're ever visiting and you're in Dorset, it may be quite a nice place to visit as well. Right then, so we're currently playing on the map Polar on this replay. So I've chosen this one because I think it quite well, it shows how to play this ship in just best general ways, not to overextend, just really just playing it just like really any ship. You don't really overextend too far without your team, and just try and put out as much damage without taking as much in, really. That's about it. So, I mean, currently we're just starting off and going to go for this Caledon, and I've actually just noticed I must have forgotten to click the automatically re-enable consumables, because I've not got the damage control party thing on, which is odd. Okay, so that's rather lucky then with this game. I did not notice that. But yeah, so we're currently going against the Caledon. We've got the, I do not know how to pronounce that, in Gibraltar, and the Medea coming to our side. So these shells are quite good. I mean, when you actually hit them, I mean, this Medea does manage to get out of the way, or at least initially. I think I only managed to get like one shot over this entire time that I'm shooting him. Even though they look quite good, I might like thinking, oh yeah, that's a pretty good salvo, but yeah, one overpen, which isn't an issue. I mean, kind of scared him off just as long as he doesn't drop torps. So there we go, that's all good. So this Boulder is going for the cap. I mean, I'm now out of his spotting, and as long as I stay out of torpedo range, I should be all good. So yeah, he has tried dropping some on me, so should be okay. Oh no, it's more at the other destroyer. I didn't see him in the smoke there. But he's being taken out pretty quickly by our team, which is quite good. And I'm just trying to stay at range, just in case anyone's dropped torps, but everything seems okay, so then switch back to the Weymouth, start putting a few shells into him. I mean, they're quite good shells as well, because I mean, if you get an entire salvo and you get full penetrations, you'll be seeing like 2,000 to 3,000 damage, which is really quite nice this tier, when most ships have only got about like 10 to 20 or 30k health really, so it's quite a nice amount of damage. So he does turn away, actively avoids them, but instead start going with this Medea instead. So here you'll actually see the shells going in and doing a considerably nicer amount of damage, and just staying out of his 600 torpedo range, and there we go, 2,000 damage with, that was just 2 penetrations, so that's rather good. And the Norvik then starts pushing out, just, I'm assuming to give this destroyer a bit of cover, as he's taking quite a bit of fire. And there we go, he's dropped a few torpedoes, but gets out of the way and seem to have got pretty unscathed from that. And now just dropping quite a few shots into this Novik. And as I've also got a cruiser behind me and the destroyer currently taking the cap, I can see why he's going to start heading away, but I think he's already lost quite a good amount of health there, so he's going to have to do something pretty fast to get away from this. I think we've taken out their destroyer anyway, which is quite nice. So now we've actually got the ability to take this cap, as long as our destroyer stays pretty safe. But he seems to be pushed. I can't see what that is that's pushing him, but he's been pushed by it. Oh no, he has actually taken out the Dresden, which is rather good. So he can continue the cap as I continue this Novik. So he's quite low now. He's only got about 20. Well, yeah, he's got quite. Well, yeah, there we go. Yeah, he's going down quite fast. He's got less than 25% of his health now. So with me and the rest of the team going after him, looking too good for him. Yeah, I did not notice that with the not having the premium consumables. That's not good. I forgot about that. So the Caledon also pokes out of this island and can't currently see me as well. So I've got quite a nice shot at his broadside. Start unloading a couple of salvos, and as the Caledon has got an exposed citadel which is above the waterline, I do manage to get a couple of hits into it. Although not in that salvo, I believe it's the next one, I do manage to get a citadel. Just there. Yep, there we go, 6,800 damage, and that's weakened him quite a bit. It's just quite odd though, seeing, even though that's the success with this ship, it's got less health than I do, which is quite odd. Anyway, just keep on putting shells into Caledon. I mean, that's quite nice. Another 2k health and destroy the torpedo tubes there. Just keep on at him, and then just keep moving from target to target. Yeah, 3,000 damage. So it does have the repair party though, Caledon does, so able to mitigate a bit of that damage, but I mean, I think it's not going to be enough with this many people firing on him. So, drop a few more shots on him. Would have hoped to have finished him off, but leave him on 88 damage, and that does get taken by one of my teammates, which is not a problem. I can just move on to the next target, which is a Weymouth currently pushing me. So at this point I start slowing down because, I mean, I've got all these enemies in front of me and most of my team's being, well, most of my side is being sort of held back by that one destroyer. So I think it's wise to get behind this island and fight for a little while whilst they start pushing up. But thankfully something is spotting them, so I'm assuming it's probably the destroyer that's currently in D6. And if not that, then I'm not too sure, but I think it's him. So give me some spotting where I can actually start shooting at some of these ships from a nice range. So his chest does give me quite a nice side, but it does start changing course. And I move back to the Weymouth, which is probably my most imminent. Oh yeah, I get a single overpen on that chest, which is rather a shame, but it's good. So we start going for that Weymouth again. A nice shot onto his side there of just shy of 2,000 damage, which is quite good. And by the looks of it, he's got the base hull, so he's got less health than me anyway. So good. And I do get rammed into with a quite suitable name of Drunk Monkey as well. That's something. That's all good, so I can start pushing up anyway now. I've got the help of my team, and this Weymouth's now currently on the retreat. So he's just sitting at about 4,000 HP, so he's definitely out of the game now, pretty soon. So deal with him relatively shortly. So there's that Novik that was taking damage all the way over there as well. He's quite low, so it's looking quite positive for us. We've taken out all of their destroyers and 2 of their cruisers, so at this point it's looking like a pretty clear-cut majority of ships here, and I think I do not get the kill here, unfortunately. It's just quite a shame. Yeah, it just about gets taken, but even so, it's quite good. I've been chunking out damage for most of this time, so whilst next to it, take the point and get a little bit of experience and help out the team with getting points. But I mean, we've not actually really got that many points. Looking at it, 300, and the other's got 100, so not nothing crazy, but just you know, helps secure the victory and not to win too aggressively. Really, when you start getting a bit arrogant, thinking, oh yeah, we won, and then that's usually when downfall comes. So start heading towards his chest now. He is currently spotting me, and the Novik will be as well. So as soon as they go into island combat, should be all good. They've got nothing to spot for them, but we've got some stuff to spot for us. And I do accidentally run into our Dresden here, but good. We can get another K on that Novik. And yeah, there goes our Umikaze, which is rather a shame. And hopefully now do manage to take out this Novik with this last salvo. Be quite good. Yep, there we go. So he's out, and 3 ships are remaining. Not too sure what just... Well, how... Oh, right, there's a little section in the middle there of how they spotted me, so... That's just a fact of just slowly chasing across the map, and all our team starts collectively pushing them into this direction out of the caps, and we're slowly getting B as well, so... I think this is now... We've definitely won this game, which is rather nice. Just keep selecting the different targets, whichever provides me with the nicest side and opportunity to shoot them at. Yeah, there's a chest that just comes out there as well. Goes back unspotted, so... No, he's spotted again, so I think he's going to be pushing from that island, so that's going to be my next target now. So he's slowly going down, so he's on about 2/3 of his original health. And he's the closest, so probably the best to focus on him. And our unpronounceable destroyer, I really do not know how to pronounce that, so yeah, he drops off torpedoes on our chester, so I try putting a few more shots into him before he gets killed. He's got 1/3 of his health left, and yeah, that's it, that's him gone. I think I do try and get another salvo, but they're not going to quite make it. So that leaves 2 ships left, the Chester and the Dresden, and I'll just finish them off. I'll just back up a bit as they are now both firing on me, and just then got the Confederate awards. That's quite nice. I've taken health off quite a few different ships now, and just finishing off this Chester, 1600 health, and then I'll move on to the Dresden. And that does look like I'm going to be able to secure that kill, yep, and managed to get the high caliber award as well, which is rather nice. And that's just a fact of hunting down this Dresden and finishing this game. So, because everyone's getting involved, even the destroyer's using his main batteries. The Dresden keeps swapping targets, so I mean he's not really going to be able to take anyone out in particular, as we've all got a good amount of health and he's being taken out quite quickly. We're sitting on, for tier 2 as well, it's a rather nice amount of damage, 53,000 damage, so it's quite a good result. We're finally finishing this up, just trying to mop up as much damage as we can as he starts going on the run. 1,000 health left. So I mean, when the actual guns are all facing in the way that you want them, it's rather good. It's just when you need to, say, turn them around at 180 degrees, and you've got to wait quite a while for that to happen. So, but when you are actually positioned there, it's quite good. This Dresden is doing quite well at avoiding some of these shots, but I mean, just the amount, you know, throw enough shit at the wall, and eventually some will stick. And okay. That Dresden is about to be taken out. So 360 health points, and I leave him with 80, so don't manage to get that kill, but it seems okay. So, that was a victory, and I'm good. Right, so overall that's a pretty good game, 56,000 damage, got quite a nice amount of credits and XP there, as well as getting the Confederate and High Caliber award. So yeah, that's quite a good game, just showcasing it. Obviously, you go to the team score there, so that destroyer must have done a lot more than I did as well, so he got a good amount more of base XP too. So yeah, you can see all the damage I've done to all these different ships here, and so that's probably what got me the Confederate award. And yeah, those are the 2 ships that I accidentally rammed into there. Yep, nice amount of profit there too. So overall, brilliant game. So that's been my overall Weymouth review. If you've enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like. If there's anything that you noticed I could improve on, then please leave a comment. And if you want to see more in the future, please subscribe.